Hi, and welcome to our session. My name is Leslie Rogers, and I teach at the University of Wisconsin in La Crosse.
Hi, I'm Becky Brueggen, and I'm a 7th grade ELA teacher at Logan Middle School in La Crosse.
Hi, my name is Megan Burke, and I'm a 7th grade ELA teacher in Logan Middle School in La Crosse as well.
We're really happy that you're here today. We want to say welcome, middle school teachers. We're really excited about talking about writing with you, and we hope you find our session really helpful. So what is this session about? It is about self-regulated writers and empowering 7th grade writers and the teachers who work with them. So hold on, here we go. And over the next 8 minutes, we're going to hopefully teach you a lot. Megan and Becky, I'm so glad that I work with you. And I'm also so excited to be here at AMLE, where we can engage our audience. And I know AMLE attendees, they love to interact. So I've created a Google form where you can share information. Please go there now. I've posted the Google link right here for the form, but I've also shared it within the AMLE area. We want to hear from you. Please share. And what do we hope that you take away from our presentation today? Please pause and reflect on these 3 key items. We are really, we're so honored to be here, and I hope that you take away some really critically important things. And why is this important? In my work, I have found that people in general, teachers, in-service and pre-service teachers, feel as though they've only had minimal preparation related to writing instruction. And we can do better than that. And part of my research here at UWL is having a relationship with middle school educators at an area school where we can continue to work on this. And so that's really exciting, because middle level teachers also in my study have higher levels of incidents where they indicate that they've only had minimal types of professional development in this area. So teaching writing, so many challenges. Is it too complex? No, maybe there's another way. I hand it over to my colleague, Megan. Megan?
As writing teachers, Becky and I often wondered, how can we make our students independent writers? How can we help students help themselves? Sometimes we felt very overwhelmed by the writing process, and we wondered, why do we feel this way? What can we do better? So we connected with Dr. Rogers, and she encouraged us to look into thinksrsd.com, where we found some incredible resources and trainings for us to learn 8 core routines that we could incorporate in our writing units that followed the stages of self-regulated strategy development to encourage independence. And these routines and this process really helped us provide scaffolds so students could self-regulate. And so what did this look like with the writing process? The first thing that we often taught students was an acronym to remember the writing process. And this really clarified what they were doing for themselves and for us as well as teachers. So we taught them an acronym called POWER. It's plan, organize, write, revise, and edit. And this is a more kid-friendly version of that visual that we utilized in our classroom. And so you can see that the P is to pull apart, pick ideas, or plan, organize, write, revise, and edit. And then within this process, on this visual, we have some of the strategies that we taught students. So within the P in POWER, we taught students the do what strategy, where they took the prompt and really picked it apart and decided what they're really writing about. Becky is going to introduce the TIDE strategy, which is a strategy we utilize to help students organize their ideas and to plan in just right ways, not to overplan or underplan, but just right. Then students were provided a chance to practice and revise. For the revision process, we taught a strategy called ARMS. So add, remove, move, or substitute, and CUPS, which is capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. Throughout the entire process, we encouraged positive self-talk. And we utilized a Think Aloud to teach the entire process. So we modeled the entire process for students, and then provided them collaborative practice before they were released just to do it on their own. And we utilized a rubric where there was a done well and a goals section where students could find some positives in their writing and also set some goals for future and final improvements and get a chance to make improvements in their writing.
All right, you just learned all about power for the writing process. Let's learn another strategy with TIDE. TIDE's another acronym that we use in learning about writing, like the key components of a paragraph or a well-written essay. We also use it for organizing ideas when we're writing paragraphs or essays. We use it in that revision step. We also use it for student and teacher feedback. It's great for that self-regulation, that self-monitoring. We can also use it in positive self-talk. So TIDE stands for that topic intro, important evidence, detailed elaboration, ending. We even add a little bit there with links and transitions. So even before students are writing, as teachers, we would use exemplars where we can teach students about these different parts of TIDE. We can also model how to find these and highlight them. Students really enjoy that task of finding and highlighting. And so we do that quite a bit before students ever use these within their own writing. So then once we come to the point where students are ready to write and we're using that writing process, they're going to use TIDE quite a bit in that organizing step of power. So that organizing ideas, thinking about what they need to include for important evidence within their own writing. So students are organized, then they're typing, they're writing their paragraph. Students can also go back and use TIDE once they're ready to revise. So when students are going through and reading what they have written, they can also highlight those parts of TIDE again. That's a way to self-monitor. They can double check to see if they included everything they needed. They can use that positive self-talk. I am rocking this. I have a topic intro. I've got important evidence. I've elaborated with details and I have an ending. So it's great for that learning, that organizing, as well as that revising step. It's also awesome to use TIDE for feedback. Students can use that feedback on themselves. Teachers can also use that feedback. So this rubric or goal setting menu that we use those same components of TIDE. We even have it color coordinated again. So when students are self-assessing and grading themselves using the rubric, they know where to look in their writing and they know how to assess that part. The best part though about this rubric and goal setting menu, besides TIDE, is down at the bottom here. Students learn how to give themselves descriptive feedback with the done well and goals section. So students reflect on what they think they have done well with their writing. They also set goals for improvement. The whole idea is that hopefully they go in and achieve these goals before turning it into the teacher. As a teacher, we use the exact same rubric. Those same parts of TIDE are in there. We also have an area for that descriptive feedback where we can provide feedback on what we think the students have done well with their writing, as well as setting goals for future improvement. So some final thoughts. SRSD, what does it help with? The ease of the process of teaching writing, so it's not as daunting. It provides those routines, which make it easier for teachers and students. It clarifies feedback with a clear-cut rubric, and it develops independent writers. So what Megan and I have really learned from using SRSD, you can't just simply assign writing. You're not going to have successful independent writers. You need to teach it. You need to model those routines and strategies. You got to provide that descriptive feedback throughout, and that's how you're going to develop those independent writers.
So what are the final takeaways? SRSD really had a big impact on the teachers at Logan Middle School, and it's had a big impact on my career as well. Please look at the list of resources in front of you, and please reach out to either me, Becky, or Megan. Emails on the right if you have any questions. Thanks, and go AMLE.